Okay, I'm going to have this link below the video. You can go ahead and, if you have Chat GPT-4, make sure you log in first. And I'll have this link down right here, down in the description. And you can click it and it will bring you here. This will allow you to create different style prompts off an image. And how it works is by typing like the number 1 for detail image description, the number 2 brief image description, 3 medium, and 4 it's pretty much fully blown right here. It's going to give you the most description. So 1 and 4 are very similar. I like to stick with 1 and 4. They seem to be working pretty good. So I'll show you how this kind of works. And when we get done, we can test this in Invoke or whatever program we're going to use to test it in. But we can also test this in DALL with the option 5, and I'll show you that here in a second if you want to check out your prompts and see how they look. So I'm going to go ahead. I got an image right here. I'm just going to use my snipping tool. I could download this and upload this, but for right now, I'll just show you an example. I'll press print screen right here. I'll just copy this, and as soon as I do this and let go, it's going to copy it to my clipboard. And then I'll come over here, and the first thing I want to do is just go. You can use the little thing right here to upload your images right here. This little icon right here. But I'm just going to Control V and paste this in here. Then wait till it's finished. Then we're going to go ahead and we got options 1, 2, 3, and 4 for right now. So we'll click here, and then it's going to give us some information here. Now things are getting a little slow, so bear with me. So let me get my zoom back down a little bit here. I'll get it right here. And it's asking me to provide it with one of the commands. Like I said, they got different description. I'll just type 1 in here for right now. And we'll send this message off here. And it's going to give us a description for the option 1. Now this thing does take a little while, so do not copy this to the clipboard. It takes a little bit of time. I'll tell you when it's finished here, so let me finish it up. Because you don't want to copy this clipboard because it's not finished yet. It may appear it is. Normally, when it gets done, you'll know here in a second. It looks like everything stopped. If you scroll all the way to the end, it's still going. See, if I let go and it's still trying to type out my prompt here. It looks like it finished. It kind of flickered there. You'll know when it's finished because when I get to see, there it's still going. Right at the end here, it'll say all the way to the end. I'm kind of having to move it. You'll see it says the NVIDIA Titan RTX. That's the end of the code right here anyway. So we can copy this and we can test this in Invoke. But I'm just going to copy this and I want to test this in DALL. So before I want to do that, I just press the copy right here, so it copies to the clipboard. So remember, it said option 5 was to test in DALL. So I'll go ahead and type 5 in here, hit the space bar, Control V, hit the prompt in there, and we'll let it generate here. There's the prompt. It does take a little while. It might be the service a little slow here today, so bear with me. And while it's doing this, like I said, I have a link below the video. If I ever change it and something's not working, come back to the video and see if there's a new link underneath there, because I may change this. Everything seems like it's working okay so far, so we're gonna try this out right here and give it a few seconds. And there it goes. Okay, This is based on the prompt that I gave it. Alright. Now DALL, I use Invoke, so they're going to render a little different, but they will be very similar from this top one right here. And like I said, now I could go to number 3 here. That's going to be about my least description here, so it shouldn't take as long. Alright, let's make sure that's finished up. Yep, it says NVIDIA Titan RTX on here, so we're going to copy that. Remember how long that prompt was up here? That was quite long right here for the option 1. This is the prompt here. So we'll test this one out here. Press 5, Control V. So it'll look like this in the top 5, then it starts with the prompt. We'll send this off and give it a couple seconds. And it's about done. And like I said, this prompt here was the smallest one, number 3, compared to this number 1 up here, which gave me this big long prompt right here. Quite short here. And it's about done. And there it goes. So I'll go into the next step. Okay, I took the same prompt. Now I'm in Invoke right here. Now I got it up here, and this is kind of designed for SDXL files. And I have a link below the video of the one I like, and I'm using it with this one here. And you can download that and use that. Keep in mind some of my settings that I got it generating one image. It seems to work a whole lot better just doing one at a time. You could possibly try 2, but I wouldn't go no higher than 2, but I usually just do 1. The reason why is under my theory is it starts putting a load on the system. The more it generates, the worse it gets. And I'm using NVIDIA 3060, and it's got 12 gigabytes of VRAM, so I got plenty, but I find out my better results are at 1. Okay, you can try 2, but you can experiment with it. My steps are at 30, the CFG's at 7.5. I'm using the SDX model here. I am also using the refiner, just turn it on. And for my scheduler, I have the ruler here, and I always make sure my seed's off. And like I said, I always do 1. It just seems to hit a whole lot better. And make sure you got it copied in the right top box and not somewhere else where not supposed to be. Now we got these negative prompts. Now these negative prompts will cause a problem. I highly recommend do not use any negative prompts until you find something wrong. Because if you start putting something in here, then something don't look right, it's probably has to do something with your negative prompts. So basically, the best way to do this, render it out with your prompt here, and don't put no negative prompts. If you see something negative, then add it to it, okay? And then you can figure it out a lot better than, because most of the times I really don't even have to put a negative prompt in here. So keep that in mind, because that negative prompt could cause you a problem. And you only want to fix a problem when you see the problem. So don't create a problem before you get started. So with that said, we'll just go ahead and put one out here. And like I said, keep an eye on my settings here. And you can mess with these. These seem to work pretty good. For the schedule, it works pretty fast. And we'll go ahead and let this finish out here. And like I said, make sure that seed's off. If it's grayed out and you can't select it, that means the seed's off. See? That came out pretty good. So, from the original one here to this one here, looks pretty good. Alright, this time I'm going to use the upload right here, and we got it to the download folder. Let's select that one. Make sure before we make any selection of 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, we need to store this on the server first and wait till it asks us to give us a command that we need to put in. So for this one here, now it's got 1 through 5 as I showed you earlier, and you'll notice that when you start generating that link below the videos, and this new one here it'll keep on switching the link. So if you ever want to get back to the main page, just make sure that you bookmark it, and you go to the bookmark, and that'll bring you to the main page where you can start. And just because it says, you know, it's going to give you more detail, that's going to be better, okay? That's something you got to experiment with. I just gave suggestion what I use. Sometimes it doesn't need as much, and 3 is going to be the least you can get. So we're going to go ahead and upload that back over here again. And I pressed the wrong button. And let it finish up. I'll just go ahead and test this real quick in here in a second. Command is number 1. Okay, it finished it. I'm going to copy it to the clipboard. Come down here. We're going to test this in DALL. Put 5 in our space bar. Control V that. Now keep in mind, now DALL and Invoke that I use a lot, they're going to give you something similar, but they're not going to be the same. But just keep that in mind. So what you expect through DALL, don't expect it the same thing in Invoke, but it will be very similar though. Okay, this one came out pretty good, and if you want to try it again, it's got this little icon right here. It's got 2 arrows going each way, and we can test that again. You'll never get the same image twice. That's just kind of a common fact. Any kind of AI generated program. So we'll just I just wanted to show you real quick about that if you wanted to test it again. Okay, that looks pretty good there. I mean, they both look good. They're going to get you in the ballpark of what you're trying to get. I think it's pretty good with color and everything. It is a dragon. So we're going to go ahead and go to the next step. I already got it copied to a clipboard just to show you how was on option 1. I'll just copy it again. We'll go over to Invoke and give it a shot. Okay, I still have this original one I was messing with, and if you ever want to get your settings back, and like I said, if you always want to make your seed off, you can right click and you can use all, or you can use this little icon up here, and when I click it, it's going to turn the seed back on. So make sure that's off of you, or try something different. This way you'll know what settings that you use for that. So we'll just turn that back off, and I've got all my basic default ones I use, which you can change and test out, see what works best for you, and we'll give this a shot. That one didn't come out too bad, and like I said, if you don't like it, just generate it again. And here's another one that works really good. Make sure you have that refiner on. It makes a whole lot of difference. Another one I use is Real Vision right here. V20. It's the bake one right here. This one works pretty good also, so you can experiment with that. You can experiment with all these settings, so this one works pretty good too. There's the one that came out. I was messing with the other one earlier, so this is the one I was trying to copy, so I had to pause the video. But these are the two that I produced right here. If we turn on this info right here, you see I see the real vision right here. That's for that one, and this one here is a Jagger. Here's one thing you want to keep in mind that you can change, alright? Anytime it gives you a description, there's going to be part of this code that always will be put at the end, and it'll start right here with raw. I'll kind of bring that down there. Now, this always gets added to it. You can change this up to whatever you want. Let's say you can get different effects. If I just removed all this way up to here and then try generating it, it may help it. You can change it, so it's always going to be put it in there, so it's up to you to change that out. And like I said, you can change this out. You don't even have to use this if you don't want to. You can just take that and remove it, or put anything you want in there, but that will always be in there. It may be something that's causing an issue or something you might be doing something different than what I'm doing, and but you can try it either way you want. It's something kind of experiment with. It's always good to save your images and use them for backup for your settings. Example here, I got this, the one I was trying to mimic here. So if I drag it over here, then you can look for the info. But once I switch, I can go ahead and choose all right now. See, if I change anything in here, it don't matter what it is, it should bring everything back to the way all these settings are at. So I'll switch this. Here's another good one down here, Think Diffusion. So if I go ahead and select all, you can be in image to image, or you can be in text to image. Just make sure you got the correct one selected and choose all. But when I do that, watch all my settings. Look at that. I'm on step 12. My seed's on. So, and if I select all, you can see this is all my settings that I use for this. And let's take a look here. We'll go ahead and generate this. Now, I did this in a different version of Invoke, so maybe it'll work. And you can, like I said, you can upload that through the upload option right here and upload it. I'll let it finish out real quick. As you can see, now I got the same image because I was using the same seed. And if that seed was off, it would probably be a different image. So at least I know these were all my settings for this here. So no matter how many times I click this, it's gonna just pop a new one over here. Alright, when you get it, turn the seed off, it'll create a new one. So keep that in mind. Now I said it'll bring back most of all your settings when you choose all here. That's about 90%. If you start using some other stuff down here and you ain't got the files that it can find, it's not going to load it. So don't count on it. If you start messing with some other settings, there's some basic settings that will put in there and some of it won't. And here's the ones I got here. And that one, and this one I was trying to mimic, and I come up with this one here, which is fairly close. It wasn't bad at all, and I think that did a pretty good job. And like I said, the link will be below the video. You can download it. Well, you don't download it, but you actually got to be in the You got to be logged in first at Chat GPT-4, and you got to have the 4 version for this to work. It's a paid subscription, and once you log in, then go ahead and click the link, and you don't need to know anything about any coding or anything. It's all ready for you. It's a little plugin, so, and like I said, if I change anything, you can come back to the video, and I may have a new link down there for you, and I will put a little note in there saying, hey, put a date on there that I made some changes. Here's some other stuff that you can do with it. I'll show you an example. I already got to the clipboard. I'll paste this in here. It says create me a text prompt of a monkey on the monkey bars taking a selfie. Now keep in mind I had the word text in there because I wanted to create a text. It's how you word this if you want it to work correctly. So if I select here, give it a second, and you can make it, let your imagination go wild, whatever you want, and it's going to create you a text prompt. Alright, it's in between the quotes right here, and it's also going to, sometimes it'll make you an image and sometimes it won't. And if it don't, you can copy this. I'll show you here in a second. Then we get something like this. So if it gives you a prompt and doesn't make it, you can do this. After I copied this between the quotes right here, you see right here, this is the prompt. And if it doesn't generate it for you and you want it generated, you can just come over here and push and type in 5 spacebar, Control V that, and give it a few seconds. And you can see this right here. It says where I was asking it to do option 5, and you can see now it's loading. Now it's trying to create a monkey on the monkey bars taking a selfie, kind of like this one right here. And there's another one. And you can, like I said, you can regenerate these by this little that little icon that's got the 2 arrows back and forth. It's kind of like a refresh. So it's going to generate it and give me another one. And there it is. There's all kinds of stuff you can do with this, and it's also how you word things. So if I didn't have that that word text in there, like on my first prompt here, just make sure that you got to tell it, hey, I need text. All right. And I like to use my speakerphone if I wanted to. I got it on Windows. It's this little icon right here. I like to use that. Create me a text prompt of a goldfish in a bowl of water, and he is underwater. Well, I put word he, but let's see what happens here. And as you can see here, it looked like it just stopped and ain't doing nothing. You can, if you hover your mouse over here, it's going to re-edit this. And it could be a little bug, I don't know. So we'll edit this, and we'll just put in a bowl of water. Let's get rid of underwater, see what happens here. And anytime that you edit edit something, and if it's way up here and you edit something and you try editing it, it will erase everything that's below there. So if I started here, try to edit something, let's see, I don't know if it has it on this. Yeah, if I try to edit here, it's gonna erase everything way down here. I'll just show you an example here in a second. Oh, that looks pretty good. I think that's awesome. So if it looks like it's getting stuck, you know, you can kind of take my advice on that. So there's that. So if I was to go way up here and edit anything on here, let's say create me a text prompt of we'll type the word cat. It says create me a text prompt of a cat on the monkey bars taking a selfie. I'm going to press save and it's going to update that. And what's going to happen is everything is going to get erased, so be careful about that. And it might put it in the code block and it may not. So if it does, that's great. We'll copy that. Come down here, type 5 in the box, space bar. Control V that to test this out. I hit the wrong key, so there it goes. You can see the prompt here, the tabby cat hanging playful from the monkey bars. And there we go. We got a cat taking a selfie on the monkey bars. Kind of a awkward position. And keep in mind, this works pretty good on now if you're doing now these types of text to image generators or vice versa, they're good with all kinds of stuff, but like humans' faces, they'll give you approximately what they will look like, but they're not, it's kind of like a security. They're not designed to identify people. So if you have a person that you got in mind that you want to try to find, it may not give you that person's name, even know if they're a famous person. It's just kind of security, because this thing's not supposed to be like identifying people, but it'll get you in the ballpark, and you can take that and invoke. If you know somebody famous, you can type their name in there and test it. I haven't tested in here. It may work, it may not. And make sure that you're using DXL models. They're trained and they understand a lot better for prompts. So this was designed for SDXL. Just to recap one more time, there's a bunch of options, like I said earlier, that you can go through 1 through 4 here. And if you wanted to kind of see what it looks like, you can do option 5 for the visual effect in DALL. So anyway, I hope you enjoy it.